Since everyone, here we are, Luke part 1, lesson number 5, the last video. We're looking at the 8th chapter of the last 16 verses, 40 through 56, really last 17 verses, I guess. An amazing account right here, actually a parallel account of two separate things that are intertwined. Jesus and his disciples go to the other side of the lake. Jairus, a synagogue official, has a daughter who is sick, and he comes to Jesus and he seeks Jesus to heal his daughter. It's really, really interesting again because he was a synagogue official. He was someone that had ruling power and authority within the synagogue in some form or fashion. Jesus agreed to go. His daughter must have been extremely sick because of what we see happen, which I'll touch upon in a second. While on the way, everybody's pressing into Jesus. They're having a hard time actually going along, apparently, from what you see within the Gospels. A woman reaches out and touches the hem of Jesus' garment. She had been sick 12 years. I think there's an interesting parallel here. The daughter of Jairus was 12 years of age. This daughter of Israel was 12 years of age. One is the daughter of the synagogue official, so her life would have been one of good things, okay, a good life. The woman that had the issue of blood, she would have been totally ostracized. She would have been totally kicked out of social life. She reaches out, she touches, and she's healed. You did some homework on why she touched the hem. The hem of the garment, particularly the garment that the Lord was wearing right there, represented the presence, and you see within the priestly garments, the presence of the Most High God. She reaches out, she touches him, she is healed instantly. What was Jesus' response? He looks around, who touched me? Well, the disciples get on to him a little bit and say, what do you mean, who touched you, Master? Everybody's pressing it against you. And he says, no, someone has touched me. And I love the King James Version. It says, virtue has flowed from me. The one that had been unclean, the one that had been ostracized, reached out and just touched the hem of his garment. Didn't want to touch the garment itself, just the edge of it. She didn't want to make him unclean. Her faith made her well. And it's just a wonderful thing. Well, Jairus, I sure was ecstatic over this, but his daughter lay dying. And she was right at the point of death because Jesus continues on and they get a report saying the girl had died. Tells me she's at the point of death. They were not surprised by this because of what happens when Jesus gets there. Jesus looks at Jairus because the report had come back and they said, don't bother the master anymore. She's died. There's nothing we can do. And he said this, fear not, only believe. Well, if you don't get anything else from it today, that right there, fear not, only believe. Jesus gets there and the band was already playing. This is the reason I think that they knew that she was at the point of death, because traditionally they would have gone and got musicians and professional mourners that would have mourned and helped the family to mourn. They were already there. Jesus gets there and he says, no, she's just asleep. They belittle him. They laugh at him. They make fun of him. So Jesus gets rid of the naysayers. He kicks them out and says, she's only asleep, y'all get out. He takes in Peter, James, and John with him, and the mother and father. And he goes to the girl, and he says, little girl, arise. As I mentioned last time, or a couple times ago, every time you see Jesus speaking to someone who's died, he's speaking to them as if they are alive, because they are alive. The person that is us is in this body right now that we have. But there's going to be a time when we're separated from this body. We're still going to be in existence. We're still going to be alive. We're not going to be in this body. And the decision is going to be this. If you repent, confess, and call upon the name of the Lord, you will spend eternity in the presence of the Most High God and all the wonder and the glory of that. If you don't, you're going to live eternally too. Except that eternity you will spend in the lake of fire, I think, looking upon what could have been. Jesus cast these naysayers out because he did not need that negative lack of faith happening right there. I think we need to do the same thing. We would do pretty well to make sure that we don't listen to the naysayers and cast them out. Hey, keep pressing on as we do the next lesson. I'll see you then.